Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and welcome to another video. I have some very unfortunate news, but maybe some fortunate news to some of you that used to follow me back in the day when you watched me for diesel content. Hint on the diesel content. The RHO is gone, and so without further ado, new year, new truck. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ragnar. Welcome, Ragnar, to the family. Now, I've been missing a diesel in my life for a long time. I really wanted the RHO because I wanted to experience and enjoy something like a TRX, but had some decent towing efficiency and decent MPG. And the harsh reality was, I just never used the RHO for RHO stuff. And so that's when I realized, well, along with all the other electrical gremlins that I experienced with that RHO and all the things that you already know about, I decided it was time to go back to a diesel. Reason being is because Ram has completely, well, kind of revolutionized this whole powertrain within this truck, and there's some amazing things that I want to talk about. So like I said, there's a lot that they did with the powertrain, and someone that had a 22 Ram 2500, the Cummins, the engine itself has always been great, but there was the dreadful, notorious grid block heater bolt that had a tendency to screw loose and go straight into your engine and just completely destroy it, costing you $30,000 for an 18-cent bolt, essentially. There's a bunch of stories about it, there's a bunch of horror stories, and you can do a grid heater delete through banks to kind of solve that, but that was the first thing that they did on this newer 6.7, is they completely got rid of that and went back to glow plugs, which is absolutely awesome. They also introduced a brand new 10-blade VGT turbo for improved fuel efficiency and exhaust braking, and let me tell you, there is no one that can beat Ram when it comes to the exhaust brake. It is the best on the market, and why I will always stay true to Ram, especially when it comes to towing and a few other things. The other thing that also was a crucial, huge upgrade to these trucks is the new ZF Torque Light 8-speed transmission. Now, if you had a 3500 in the older years, you had the ASIN transmission. Arguably a really solid, really good transmission. But this one, like a 2500, you almost always got the 68 RFE. Dreadful to many, good for some. I had it, I started losing some of my gearing and stuff, and it just shifted so clunky. It wasn't smooth, it struggled, all this other stuff. You can look it up, there's tons of videos about it. They upgraded from the 68, so all new 2500s and 3500s have this brand new ZF Torque Light 8-speed transmission, and it is a thing of absolute beauty, let me tell you. Now when it comes to suspension and all of that, you still have the traditional link coil suspension both in the front and rear for the 2500. The 3500 still retains the leaf springs from the old generation. Still rides pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what they did, because as far as what I've seen online, it hasn't changed, but somehow stock on these newer ones, it rides so much better than the old ones. Nonetheless, we did do some fun modifications to this truck. As you've probably seen already, we added some 17-inch Trophy Arena polished aluminum wheels. I think these look super good, and they also have the imitation beadlock ring. We did do a full 2.5-inch leveling kit with Carli, with drop arm brackets, and I am missing the fronts right now, but I do have the rears. We do have full King shocks put into place as well too. They have their own custom valving directly from Carli. Some people said they ride pretty harsh when I was reading, but honestly, since having it and since having this setup on, it rides really good and really, really smooth. Now you're still gonna have that classic 3/4 ton heavy duty pickup truck feel, but it is so much better than stock, and it, dare I say, it's close to a 1500 chassis. It rides really, really smooth, and the cameraman behind, Mr. Ty, can also agree with that because he's been in the truck. In my opinion, Ram, till this day, still has the best interiors, bar none. I did almost go F-250. I was looking at a few different ones like the Lariat, the King Ranches, but when I sat inside, I'm sorry, Ford guys, it felt cheap. Like, it didn't feel very well put together, and maybe because I've had Rams my entire life, I do think in the early like 08 to 14 version, you guys really had the spotlight for Ford interiors, but I think since then, and especially with the 2019 and the Gen 5s, Ram has just killed it and absolutely just blasted everyone out of the water when it comes to their interiors. Now I went with a limited specifically because I love all my tech, I love all my fancy features and stuff, and I wanted to make sure that coming from the RHO, I still had some of those fun amenities. So with the limited, we have power running boards. We also have this only ebony red and black with wood interior that comes only on the Limited. That's kind of what I hate, is Ram isn't very good at allowing you to kind of customize your interior and your options. So when you get to a trim level, you're kind of stuck with that. You can't customize or move around. But I think this red, this darker red with the wood and the black and all the accenting, freaking money. I absolutely love this. Of course, you have your massive 14-inch screen on the inside. You do have your passenger display. It's a little bit gimmicky, I won't lie, but it is fun to have from time to time.
Didn't the RHO have that too?
The RHO did have it. You can still play Switch, Xbox, YouTube, Netflix, and it has its own Bluetooth. I think it's pretty cool. You don't see that in a Ford. I would have preferred to have extra storage, but it's not something that you can opt out of when you get to the Limited. And when I saw this red interior, I was like, I have to have it. I really want to have it. Hop inside and I'll show you a few things that I've missed about having a diesel, and specifically not having a center shift column mount, whatever you want to call it, but a shifter in the middle. There's a few things that I've missed about having the shifter on the steering column itself. All right, the biggest thing that I missed after coming from my diesel to an RHO and back was I missed all of the storage right here in the middle. On the RHO, you did have your big manly shifter right here in the center, and you felt like an absolute boss with massive cojones and stuff, but it took up a lot of room, and you also didn't get cup holders. I mean, you have this centerpiece right here that slides all the way back and all the way forward. You have storage, you've got cup holders, slide it all the way back. This goes all the way back, and I mean like all the way through. And I have missed having that extra storage, that additional storage. I did notice with these new wireless chargers that they have kind of fixed them. On the RHO, I noticed it just constantly overheated my phone. And I know you're not supposed to constantly use your wireless charger all the time, but also with that being said, why have it here where it will hold it in place if you're not supposed to charge it for long periods of time, right? So I did notice that it seems like they have kind of fixed that or improved it. It's not causing my phone to overheat as much, but nonetheless, we did end up adding this bullet point mount. Always seen these, and then in one of the Broncos that I have on Turo, I saw that it came with this, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, I want that. A few things that I wish they would have kept with the older generation that I'm a little bit peeved about. Everything is going digital. And what I mean by that is, on my old diesel, I used to have switches kind of like these, but they were legit toggle switches where you'd press down and they made a satisfying click. You could do that for your tow, your exhaust brake, your sensors, and alternating your trailer height. All of that has been moved into the screen now, as you can see. So, like, it works, I get it, but really, Ram? Like, I want the satisfying clicks back. I want my toggle switches back. But nonetheless, it's okay. I mean, that's just kind of a bummer right there. That's really my only complaint and gripe on the interior, is just I wish they would have kept those toggle switches. Everything else is still very easily accessible. I think Ram does a really good job with their screen where stuff isn't hidden too far into the menus and you don't have to search for it. I will say though, Ram, your Uconnect, your software absolutely sucks. It's terrible, I won't lie. But the screen itself and how you have it set up and how you can access things, it's really good. It's just the Uconnect that I've noticed on every Stellantis vehicle is just so slow. It's not really responsive. This is still responsive from time to time, but you can see it's a little bit of a delay. And after driving for long periods of time and the heat and stuff, it just gets a little bit slower each time, but no major complaints there or anything like that. A few other mods that we added, not that they were really necessary,
but they're really fun.
That's it. I don't want to get in too much trouble.
What about the...
Oh, yeah. 1 second. These are fun too. Not necessary, but fun.
It looks good.
Yeah, you know.
When you're delivering presents this year.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to spread Christmas cheer, So, last thing that Ram will always beat Ford on, and I don't think Ford will ever come close to it, because over the years they've never adjusted their cabs or anything like that. And Ram's kind of similar, but as you can see, we went with a mega cab. I love mega cabs. I think they really fill out this truck super well. I do have my dog cover in right now, so I apologize, but you have so much, and I mean so much extra room in these trucks. There's a bunch of storage space back here. Like I said, I got my dog cover on, so this won't go down, but you got so much storage in here. And then there's a bunch of other little compartments in here too. You've got compartments down there. I don't know if you can see that or not. But you can also lay these seats all the way flat and create a perfect floor for whatever you really need. And like I said, Ford just has never come close to that. They've never really been able to compete with that with the mega cabs. And because it is a mega cab, on long drives, I can't do this if I'm not sitting in it, but on long drives, you can also recline the seats too. That is one thing that I loved so much about the RHO, is you could actually recline those seats for longer drives. So your guests, your passengers, they're a little bit more comfy, and I really wanted that. So ended up going with the mega cab. Now I will say, I don't think it's ever smart or wise to buy a truck brand new, but I did exactly that, and I did the same on the RHO, and I kind of paid the price on the RHO. The RHO I got for $78 out the door, fully loaded, and it did have a bunch of rebates and dealer discounts, so I didn't necessarily pay sticker, but that's also kind of why the RHO isn't here. If you look at brand new ones, you can get them for the same price that I got mine without dealer rebates or discounts. So the market is slowly kind of starting to go down on them, and with the announcement of the TRX, which is supposed to be unveiled on the 1st of the new year, supposedly, I think the market's just going to drop a little bit more on those too. So I paid $78 out the door for the RHO. I got $70 with trade-in. That's equal about $75, not having to pay taxes. This I got for $88. So there was roughly a $13,000 difference that I ended up having to pay right there. It is a large pill to swallow on a truck like this, but sticker on this brand new, and this kind of just tells you where the truck market and the market for cars are in general, where they're not moving. This was a $100,000 sticker. 101785 was the sticker on this truck, and they were selling it for $83. Brand new truck, right? I think that just kind of speaks volumes about where the market is right now. There are a bunch more on the market that you can find in the 80s, even the 70s, and if you're going with base trim like Bighorn, 60s. Kind of crazy right now. But I absolutely love the diesel. I'm so happy to be back in this diesel. I'm excited to share all the content with you, ownership and whatnot. We've already crossed 1,200 miles on this truck, and I've literally only had it for a week and a half. Drove it back from Arizona, have had a really good time with it. I have a few things that I really like and don't like about the truck that maybe I'll share with y'all in a future video on 5 things I like and don't like. But besides that, it's been a great truck. I'm super excited about it. My only worry with this truck, because it is newer, is all the tech and the electronics. As you know, I had a hell of a time with the RHO. So far, this has been good. You better treat me right, or you'll be gone. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the video. Once again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll see y'all in 2026.